Hello and welcome to Will Watches. These are the openings and the ending songs for Fire Force. So I did those other opening reactions to kind of gauge what people wanted to see next from the channel, and they turned out to be quite popular. And to be honest, I really liked making them. They were quite quick and easy to make, and to be frank, they bring in some views as well. Why not just carry on and do more? I think I'm gonna make it like a weekly thing. So these ones that I'm doing from now on, they're not, to see if I'm going to react to them, because I've already decided I'm going to react to Tokyo Revengers and Neon Genesis Evangelion at some point. So these are just for fun, I just enjoy watching all of these openings and trying to figure out what the show's about, So I'm going to do Fire Force. I did actually see the first episode when it first aired, all those however long ago that was. Now there's 2 seasons, I think. So I know a tiny bit of the premise, how there's these spontaneous combustions and they're like these fire demons, and the main team are like firefighters and they're going in to fight these fire demon monsters, and they're using their fire powers, and different people have different types of fire powers. I know the main character, his whole thing was he wanted to be a hero and he has the feet propulsion. Then there's one character who was like religious, and I know some people are like telekinetic, so there's like different levels of the fire control. So yeah, let's just jump into it. Okay, kind of rock-like. We're getting, he's the main character, I know, flying about. The fire animation is gorgeous. Fire in anime a lot of the time is already very good looking, so there have to be top tier fire animation for this, obviously. I'm guessing there's going to be like more advanced of these fire demons. I know there's definitely some religious imagery like here with her. He's got a sword. There's this guy who has like, it's like very dark red flames. It looks like a tail almost. It looks like a tail and cat ears. Is it a cat girl? Are there cat girls in this anime? Yes, he uses his feet. And he's using his feet to launch different weapons, it looked like. Yeah, this is crazy. And then all of the explosions and fire animation. Okay, so that was opening one. That was really cool. I really liked the song. I couldn't remember too much of the show from before, just the main character and his feet powers and like the basic premise. So there are a few characters there. There's like this priest lady. There's a girl who looks like a cat girl. There was this kind of older dude who's probably like a mentor type character, I think. So yeah, the team looks really cool. And of course, I know that this was all created by the same creator as Soul Eater. There's some of his kind of flair in there with the jagged teeth and the way the noses are drawn and things like that. So you can kind of see his influence. I am wondering with the demons, how did they come to be? Is it something religious? Because we're seeing a lot of religious imagery. Is it something else? How did they come into being? And kind of how, as an enemy, what they are like. Are they just mindless monsters? Or are there people controlling them? Or are there more advanced ones as we go throughout the story that are manipulating things behind the scenes? There's a lot of questions there. Let's jump into the first ED. Okay, back in the church. This song is cool. And then she joins the team. Okay, so we've got some better looks at the team members. I don't know any of their names. Is she number 8? Is that her, like, they're all numbered different things? Okay, so that was cool, getting a bit more of an insight. It's just a quick glimpse at this character. She's like a priest. I know she prays to like use her fire powers, I think. So it seems like all of her friends were like burnt alive, or were they were spontaneously combusted, so maybe there's something where they say, you know, if someone has evil in them, that will manifest and they combust, and it's actually all of her friends were, she thinks they all had some evil in them. That was, I don't know, that's just like a weird little theory. And that was cool. I really liked the song there. And we got a bit of a better look at like the team members. There was a few that I didn't recognize because in the first OP, they are just proper flying about, aren't they? So you can't really get a good look at them. So let's jump into opening 2. Okay, siren going off. Oh, like a mayday signal. This is cool. They've got like their fire station. The fire station is a church. Okay, this is very heavy. Bit darker for the second core of the show. That's usually how it goes, you know. Bit CGI on their truck. Oh, it's in English. So there's like a bit of a rivalry between these two, and then there's the 3 girls. And he's like the leader. Okay, some more characters, drivers. This guy with the red hair. Maybe some villains we might see. There's that guy with the skull. Okay, this is very character heavy. You can't really tell what's going on. But you can definitely see the Soul Eater influence here. Oh, these guys look menacing. Ooh, I do like this. In English as well, it's cool. So we're seeing a fight between 2 people now. He looks like a knight almost. So it's not just the fire demons that they're fighting, you know? Fighting other humans as well for some reason. I do like the different character designs. Like there's one that looks like she's got like a witch's hat almost. Yeah, you can definitely see the Soul Eater influence with the character designs. There's one, she looks like she's got a witch's hat. That must be a reference towards Soul Eater. And then we saw some people that looked a bit more like villains here. And they were human looking. I don't know if they are actually human or if they are like more advanced fire demons, whatever they call the fire demons. But if they're humans, there might be some plot where they're using the fire demons maybe as like a population control or something like that. So there might be some reasoning behind it, or they're just using it to try and, you know, stay in power or something along those lines. So let's get into the second ED. Okay, so the flower's all dead, and that goes into like a nervous system. That was cool. I like that. Seeing like their equipment. This is that knight from before. Are they like rivals? Or is he like one of the main villains? At least for this arc. It's kind of hard to place the timeline. It looks quite modern day actually, but there's a lot of this imagery for like knights and then witches, and there's a guy back there who looked like in a fedora. He looks very evil. Is this a mother? It looks like she's holding someone's hand. Is that the main character's mother? Oh, are they brothers? Is the white hair guy the main character's brother? I do like this imagery of the nervous system. It's cool. I wonder if that has anything to do with their powers. There must be some significance for this imagery, you know? Maybe that's how their powers work, or there's something significant there. Okay, that was cool. It definitely makes me think that this white-haired character is in some way related to the main character, because it looked like there was a mother and she was like holding someone's hand, and then she had just given birth to the white hair character, and by her side it definitely looked like the main character. So maybe they are brothers, or they're related somehow, or maybe that is just like something to throw you off, and it's that was just like the backstory for this white haired character who he looks like a knight. So that was really cool. Let's get into the third opening, which is the first one for season 2. Oh, that was a giant fire monster. Are they not villains? Because it looked like our main character was working with them there for a second. And as he joins, do they have a separate team? Is it like a rival team of firefighters? I like this guy he's got like a bit of an afro, who's a driver. It seems like he's always in the front seat. Okay, there's like a plague doctor. That definitely looks like a villainous team of some sort. Is the white-haired guy actually a girl? I don't know. For a second there, I thought maybe that they look like all the different fire like squads. It looked like. She reminds me a lot of I'm forgetting the name of the guy from Soul Eater. All of these characters must be related somehow because it was like transitioning with their eye patches. It definitely looks like the threat is more than just the basic demons that we've seen. Oh, they rip their eye patch open and use that for their fire attacks. Is that a girl? I can't tell. Their eyelashes are quite long, but it might just be they're a bit more feminine. And there's a book there of some significance. So that was really cool. We got a lot more character stuff, loads more characters thrown in that I hadn't seen before. There's this girl who has a crown over her face. There's loads of people with eye patches who might be related in some way. It looked like they lift the eye patches up and fire comes out of it. So maybe there's some like technique that's passed down through a family, and that's what that is. You know, it was showing a lot of people with eye patches. Then there's this group that are wearing all white and they have the red crosses, so they look like a bit more of a villainous organization or something like that. And I think we also saw what looked like almost rival like fire squads or like teams of firefighters. I'm really enjoying all of the character design here, you know, because of the Soul Eater influence again. There's just a lot of uniqueness. And then we also saw there was this pink-haired character, and she reminded me a lot of the one from Soul Eater who has the blood sword. I'm forgetting the name. I'll put it up on the video. It looked like she could draw in smoke and then set it alight after. That looked like a cool power. It looks like, you know, even though a lot of the powers are fire powers, there's still some creativity you can have with it in how it's activated and the effects of the fire. You know, some characters might have fire that's hotter than others. Some characters might have more pinpoint control of their fire. Some might just be more brute force. You know, there's a lot of ways you can use fire powers and make it unique, you know. So let's jump into ED number 3. That looks like it's CGI a bit. So we have this character who has like a sword and some demons. The main character with those feet. That looks like the cat girl. That looks like a more advanced version of a demon. And there's a guy with a shield. This is a bit like a video game, isn't it? They're like getting power-ups and stuff. A guy with hearts? Yeah, so these must be, they're like the two rivals. And a guy with a gun. Then like a witch-like character. Is that a villain? Or is it just someone who trained with them? It has like those fluorescent blue stripes on those runes that the main characters seem to have, so maybe it is part of their team. Then another even bigger demon. Oh, does he have a demon inside him or something that he unleashes? Okay, so that was ending number 3. That was really cool, the kind of side-scroller beat-em-up style, and they were getting like power-ups from their friends, it seems. So it seems like there's our main character, then there's this blonde guy who has a sword. They're kind of like they have a bit of a rivalry. And then right at the end there, we saw the main character, he did a big kick, but it looked like he was almost releasing a demon. So maybe he has some hidden power where he has a demon inside of him. That's very, you know, shonen anime, isn't it? So it's like he can release that to be a much bigger attack at some point, perhaps. Okay, let's jump into the final opening song. Ooh, dig that. That was cool, the silhouettes and just seeing his teeth. Purple fire, like pink fire, but she looked cool. It looked like her hair was made of fire almost. Has he had an upgrade? His fire is a different color, or is it just a bit stylistic for this opening? Okay, these two are related in somehow. They have a bit of a backstory. There's a dragon. Is that actual dragons? It looked like he had a brother or a dad or something. Yeah, so it's like a deep red, some of the fire now. Is that just like to signify like a hotter fire, a bit of an upgrade? It seems very powerful. Eye patch characters, you know, always strong. You know, if any characters ever have their eyes covered at any point, you just know that when you finally see their eyes, it's going to pop off and they're going to be super powerful. So it looks like that eye patch guy might have been a villain, but he might be related to some other characters that we have also seen. And then there was this really interesting character who looked like a little kid, but he looked quite evil. And then he was standing back to back with someone who was like half destroyed. So I'm wondering if he has like a sibling or a father who is half demon or is corrupted or dies, and that drives him crazy and turns him evil. That seems quite interesting. And then there's just loads and loads of characters we've seen here. It's almost too much to keep track of, you know? So let's jump into the final ending. Oh, it's like Chibi. Okay. Oh, this is like another video game. It's like an infinite runner kind of thing, perhaps. Yeah, it's like an infinite runner hitting all the things. This is cool. It's kind of video game themed. I wonder if there's any video game themes during the actual show, or if this is just stylized like this for the endings. But they might make video game references in the show via flying demon. Maybe that is a plot point for him. Someone he loves gets kidnapped and he is hunting them down. I don't think we've seen this. She looks like she's got red hair a bit, or like ginger hair. Was that all just a dream? Okay, so those were the openings and the endings for Fire Force. This seems really cool. You know, I had only watched the first episode, but it seems like there's much more depth for the world here, and there's just so many characters. It's very vibrant in how many characters they have and how unique all of their designs are. They all seem really cool. I think maybe at some point I should give this show a second shot, because all of the characters look really cool, and it'd be interesting to see where the story goes with all of these villains, and there looks like there's some villainous humans to mix things up a bit. Yeah, it just looks really cool, and I've heard good things about the animation and especially the sound design in some of the fire attacks as well. So I love a good fire attack in the anime. It's always beautifully animated, and I have no doubt that this show will be really good animation as well. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, consider leaving a like or a comment. Maybe, you know, a suggestion of what other openings and endings I should watch. I'll link my anime list below so you can see what shows I have already seen. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.